Just dance, dance, just dance. All right, we're ready. Let's wait for the first person to come out. 13 people, not great, but it is what it is. We'll have to live with it. It was kind of a hectic lobby. I wasn't supposed to do it, but I still did. But Pro Ultra has been sick for a while, so you know, we don't blame him. We just hope he gets well soon. Alright, cool. Alright, I'm not live quite yet. I mean, I'm live, but I can't read the chat quite yet. Okay, there we go. Now I'm somewhat prepared. Who is the first person to do a lap? It is an Aston Martin. It is Wildstorm F1. We've got 14 people. Not too shabby. Kind of curious. You know, it's been a while since I've commentated. So I hope my voice won't give in. Mr. Pavel actually retires already. That is quite an early retirement. Anyway, Wildstorm through the final corner. And off he goes for his first qualifying lap. And for the first qualifying lap of the session. There is quite some traffic coming out. But they are waiting properly enough so that Wildstorm can get through turn 1 quite nicely. Bit wide through turn 2, but it should be fine as he can carry along a decent amount of speed. His teammate right behind him. He is on an outlap though. Ooh, a little bit wide again. It's not looking like the best sector 1 at 30.3. I am not quite sure if that is good or not. We'll just have to find out in a bit, as the next driver to do a lap is unknown. And he is actually doing a lap on mediums, which is quite surprising. Wildstorm in the meantime invalidated, so we will be watching unknown as he's going through the last somewhat slow corner of the track. The entirety of sector 3 is either high speed or medium speed. Of course, a purple sector 2, but will that last for the entire time? Because he's on mediums, so I don't think it will. But we'll see. Through the penultimate corner, into the final corner we go. This very quite long right-hander. Unknown to the line, he will set a 129.21.9, which on mediums isn't bad at all. DP invalids, he would have gone to P2 as J.E. Wolf sets the fastest lap. Who is up next? I think it's a McLaren. No, he is on an out lap. David is up next, I think. Unless... No, it's David. David. I'm not quite sure how to say that name. He invalidates. Quite unfortunate. Up next is then an Alpine Philip, who sets a 30.0 in Sector 1, which is quite good, I think. Again, through the final slow corner of the lap as he invalidates. A lot of invalidations today. As HBE is up next. What can he do for XR8? Of course, a little bit of bias. I wasn't even supposed to do the lobby. It's my team, come on. You don't blame me. He sets a purple Sector 2. Although, I don't know how believable that is on this game. That was very close to track limits. He is taking it to the limit. Ryan, let me in so I can engineer one of our drivers. Why would you let me in? Wait, what? How does that even work? HBE is literally on VC right now. You could just join him and ask if he wants an engineer. HBE to the line sets a 1:21.5, which isn't that good compared to the McLaren, who now enters the pits as a Mercedes. DPAP is done. Hookit invalidates TXL Massey. TXL. I'll just call him Massey because that's a lot easier. Massey to the line, a 1:21.3. JE with quite an early lap, still pole position, which is quite surprising. As now, Swedish Latifi invalidates. Is HB on an out lap? Or is that his in lap? That is his in lap. Then up next is, I think, Bob is up next. Okay, let's see how Bob will do. He sets a... No, that's not purple. That is not a purple Sector 1. That was a 30.0, I think. Although that might have been an invalidated lap. So who knows? This could be purple. Though again, with this game, you never know. He wants engineered, but I need to spectate. Yeah, but... Oh, you need me to invite you. Yeah, that's fine. Aspect. I don't know if it's against the rules, but, you know, I am the one that made the lobby. I am the one that saved the literal day, so I don't give a shit at the moment. You don't pop up for me. Do I have you added? I don't know if you do. Doesn't look like it. TTRE Bob, a 21.3. Not bad, not bad. Who kid enters the pits? I think Rambo's up next. No, he has invalidated. So we are back to out laps. No, HBE is actually on a lap. He is 2 tenths below his time, which is looking quite good. HBE to kind of save XR8 in AVC, as the main team didn't do a great job. Bit wide through that corner, didn't take much curb. He is taking it to the limits again. What is his Sector 3 going to be? And what is the entire lap going to be? He has quite a lot of ERS left. He's going to burn it all up towards the line. HBE is going to set a 21.2, which is good enough for provisional pole. Only by 3,000s though. JE Wolf set that as a banker lap. So it's going to be close. It's going to be very close. Up next is Philip? No. DPAP is up next. For XR8 as well. DPAP hasn't set a lap yet. He will not want to invalidate. You need to add me. My user... Wait, I'll put my user in the chat. There we go. He has invalidated once again. I might have just given him the commentator's curse there. It's not looking good for DPAP. Or better called Aaron. Should probably call him Aaron. Up next is David. He sets a purple sector 1, and I think that is actually purple. XR8 domination could bore fans. Yeah. At the moment you can say that, although I do think J.E. Wolf will be catching up. David through the last slow corner of the track. And now to burn all his ERS. Sets another purple sector. No, never mind, it wasn't. Is David gonna be able to compete for the front row? It doesn't work? That's weird, bro. What's your user? I could add you. David up towards the line. DRS gets turned on and he sets a 120.8. And he just answered my question. He is definitely able to compete for the front row. I think that might be quite an interesting lap. Interestingly good. Although J.E. Wolf goes on to set a purple sector 1. He might also be competing for pole position here. It's definitely going to be close. Ooh, he gets a bit of a slide. Sometimes that could be good through that specific corner though. As you carry the most speed. He is already quite low on ERS. He is more than a 10th up on his time. It will not be enough to compete for pole position. Is he able to find enough time in the last sector to set provisional pole? He gets a bit of a snap through the penultimate corner. Into the final corner. He doesn't have that much ERS left. Is he going to be able to go to provisional pole? The answer is no. He is able to improve on his time, not on his position. No, he is able to improve on his position. He went up one position. Excuse me. Who is up next? Who is up next? I think it's Hookid. It is Hookid. Through the final corner. Burning all his ERS. Where is Hookid gonna go? He is going to be setting a 21-0. And it's looking good for the Mercedes team. Aaron now also entering the pits. He still hasn't set a lap yet. 5 people that haven't set laps yet. And it's not looking good for them. Definitely isn't. Is there anyone on a lap? Doesn't look like it. Is Philip on a lap? I think he might be. I think he might be. Yeah, he definitely is on his lap. He is using ERS at parts where you have to use them. So let's watch along with Philip Nalovsky. I think that's it. He sets a 30.0, which is a decent lap time. That would definitely put him up to the top 5. Can he keep that pace up? David retires already. He thinks, I'm done. As Philip in the meantime invalidates, so I don't know why I'm still going on about him. And I think that's everyone done. J.E. Wolf is done. I don't know what he's doing right now. Hookid is done. I don't know why J.E. Wolf is still on track. Is he taking care of his tires is the question. I have no idea. But now, Unknown is going to be starting a lap. He is burning a lot of ERS. That is some of the most interesting ERS usages I've ever seen. Burning it all on the main straight. We'll see how it goes for the rest of the lap. Does seem like the way he takes these corners is quite decent. Unknown at 21.9 will definitely not put him in contention of anywhere near the top 5. So he is going to have to improve a lot. What does he do in Sector 1? He goes to a purple Sector 1. 5/10 improvement on his own time. But of course, we know that he has set, burned throughout all his ERS. Not all of it. He still has quite some left. But it will definitely be close towards the end of the lap. Although he's been doing quite a good job recharging, it seems like. 8 tenths up on his time. Unknown is on a flying lap. Where is he going to be going? Through the penultimate corner. Does he invalidate? It's so easy to invalidate there. He does not. Now up towards the final corner. Try to save as much ERS there as possible to burn it all on the straight. Up towards the line. He has already used his ERS, so that's going to cost him a little bit. But he does enter the 20s with a 20.9. Which is not a bad lap whatsoever. Puts him in P2. But that is Unknown's qualifying session done. Massey invalidated. Is he going to be able to set another lap is the question. No, he's still going. I think Massey might be done unless he's trying to get to the pit street as soon as possible. But I don't think that will be in time. Does he have the time or not is the question. He is entering the pits, but I think it's a little bit too late. Who is up next? I think it's Philip up next. Yep, it is. So we're going to be watching along Philip Nalovsky, who hasn't set a lap yet because of invalidations. Of course, Qatar is very easy to invalidate on. He is going to have to set a very careful lap. Unless he wants to compete for the front row. But taking risks now that you've not set a lap is, of course, very dangerous. Dumb Donut and Unknown is the coldest team ever. Yeah, who knows? It seems like they're doing alright. If Dumb Donut can get a lap in. Anyway, let's not focus on that team now. We are focusing on Philip, who has to set a lap. If he invalidates, qualifying is over for Alpine. Because Pavel already retired. And they would have to do a last to first challenge. Which isn't that easy on a track like Qatar. Unknown retired. He thinks that he is safe. What is Philip going to do in Sector 1? A 30.008, which is a decent lap time. Right, I improved on Austria finally. Nice, bro. Congrats. Took you a while, though. Philip threw that very long left-hander. Ooh, that was very close to track limits. But he manages to keep it on the track. All four wheels on the track. Now burning through his ERS. He is burning a lot. Holy shit. I don't know if that's the way to go. But Philip does. And Philip is on a decent lap, it seems like. Where is the Alpine going to go? It's quite difficult to invalidate in the final corner. So this will probably be a lap. Yes, it is. Where is Philip going to go? Up towards the line. He is going to set a 21.1, which puts him P4. Absolute beautiful lap. Up next is either Bob or Wildstorm. It is Wildstorm who's 2 tenths up on his time. Where's Wildstorm going to go? Up towards the line. He is going to set a 20.9. Good enough for P2. Now Bob, who is also around 2 tenths up on his time. Aston Martin is looking fast. Where is Bob going to go? Through the final corner. He doesn't have that much ERS left. Is it going to be good enough for a potential front row? Bob up towards the line. A 21.0. Massey is done. Swedish Latifi goes to P10. Doesn't improve much. Dumb Donut through the final corner. He doesn't invalidate. So important that he doesn't. Where is he going to go? He is going to set a 21.2. Quite a good lap. And Aaron has invalidated. Not great for the XRA driver. HBE has to save them. Where is he going to go? J.E. Wolf to pole position with a 20.7. HBE up towards the line. He is going to be setting a 21.0. Good enough for P7. Philip, the only one left. He is done. And I think that's qualifying wrapped up. Yes, it is. And that was quite an exciting qualifying session, I must say. So, the lineup for the grid. J.E. Wolf, who starts on pole position with a very good lap at 20.7. David from ABE in P2. And then a McLaren 1-3 with Hookit setting the third time. Wildstorm P4, Unknown P5, Bob P6, HBE P7, Philip P8, Massey P9, Dumb Donut P10. That is the top 10 for today. And let's hope for an exciting race. Absolutely. Of course, McLaren EVR. They have a good academy, a good team. It's not weird that they are in P1 and P3. It's looking good for them. Ready at 32. If there's anyone in the chat, yeah, I kind of forgot that I was the one hosting, so I was the one that had to decide when to ready. 32 is the ready time. Should be enough. Almost ready time. It is now time to ready up. Of course, I have no clue when to ready. I mean, I have no clue when people are going to ready. Because I can't see that. So let's just hope people are readying. If not, yeah. I don't know. Oh, I hear something. I hear a sound. I think we are getting ready to go towards the red light. Yes, we certainly are. Here we are in Qatar. 5 red lights and we are underway. Does J.E. Wolf get a good start? Yes, he certainly does. Absolutely drives away from David, and who could actually get past quite easily. And we've got an EVR 1-2. Of course, amazing for this team. The 1-2 is always beautiful to have. As in the background, are there some battles going on? We've got Unknown against Philip. Doesn't achieve anything. There's, Pavel against Sweden Latifi getting absolutely heated. There is a kick Sauber in the background going off. Dumb Donut spins it. Or did he get hit? I wasn't quite sure. DP going for a move on Rambo. They make a little bit of contact. Could have been lag. Ooh. Don't know if that was a spin or if that was contact. But DP moves up into P2. Aaron. I need to call him Aaron, not DP. I keep forgetting. Not that smart. Wildstorm very close to the back of David. He is the lead Aston Martin for the moment, and he is going to have to make a move. Is he going to do it over here? He has the better tires. He's going to wait it out. Wildstorm. He is not using his ERS. J.E. Wolf sets the fastest lap. He's been leading every single lap of the race so far. Is this going to be a Grand Slam? Is the question. There is a Haas. Ooh, he actually got overtaken by Wildstorm. I didn't even see that they were going side by side. The position is Wildstorm's, and that is very well done. There is an Alpine and Sauber's going side by side. Not anything made of it. The Alpine is looking very racy of Philip Nalowski. As in the meantime, Bob is also trying to make some moves on the Haas, who doesn't seem to have the race pace for the moment. As, no, Wildstorm did not disconnect. Did seem like it for a second. Bob is very laggy, it seems, though. In the meantime, the McLarens are gone. Doesn't seem like they're planning on giving this 1-2 up either. As long as they stay out of the DRS, excuse me, from the driver behind, who gets his first warning. That was definitely a warning, but it was enough to keep him in the DRS, and that DRS is so important around Qatar. Absolutely. Is Hukit gonna attack his teammate though? That's the question. It doesn't seem like it. Bob is gonna attack David though. Bob on the inside gets the move done. He is very laggy, but it's no. I think it's better to watch David as he keeps the position, but Bob goes for the switchback. Yeah, it's very laggy. Can't really tell what's going on at the moment. Yeah, I'm gonna stop spectating it. Looks like Philip is also a bit confused, as Rambo already picks up a penalty. Crazy work. Pavel and Massey going side by side. Massey keeping the position. Bob is so laggy, but he's the only one that's really attacking. Is he going to be able to make a move on David? It's not really possible down there. HBE is also very close to unknown. There's really not that many fights going on. Of course, a DRS train is the most boring things you'll ever find. Is Unknown going to make a move here? No, he is not. It is actually a bit of a better overtaking spot than people might think. Here we have HBE though, very close to the back of Unknown. Is he going to be able to make a move? No, Unknown has some insane top speed. Wow. So in the meantime, Philip gets past David. David losing so many positions. It's insane. Where is David's race pace is the question. So Massey gets past Pavel. Or, no, that was already the way the position was. Excuse me. The trick of Qatar is really just don't get penalties. Honestly. If you don't get penalties, you're gonna be fine. Because other people are bound to get penalties. As Rambo gets his second penalty of the day. The only driver to pick up a penalty, and he has 6 seconds worth of them. It's not looking good for the Haas driver. The sole ABE driver, which is still in the DRS train, is David, who is in a solid P6 at the moment. It's all a gap of 2 tenths here. It's all quite close. Wildstorm, the only person that might be able to ruin EVR's top 1-2. He is sticking with them quite nicely. We do know he has a warning though. He picked one up quite obviously when he was trying to stick in the DRS of the 2 McLarens. Bob actually sets the fastest lap, and he might be getting close to this 1-2-3 as well. Dragging along the entire train as Philip goes down the inside. Philip, who's been showing that he has a lot of pace, to use. Is going to go for the switchback on the very laggy Bob. Is he going to be able to get the move done? It seems like it, because the outside line is the ideal line to have. And Philip gets an amazing move done through a section where it's usually not quite possible. Still so close here. This train is absolutely insane. All a battle for some decent points. But we know that the top 3 are gone. Wildstorm is actually kind of losing the hook to the top 2. But he has a lot of ERS to play with, so he should be fine. HB is getting very close. Is he going to be able to go for a move? Yes, he is. Down the inside of David. Is he going to be able to make the move stick? David is burning a lot of his ERS. But HBE gets the move done on the mediums. He wants to get some moves done, of course. Ooh, he goes quite a bit wide there. Did he get pushed off by David is the question. He's not going for a crazy dive bomb, so I don't think he did. He does make a little bit of contact, as there was quite a pile up there. The question is, will Wildstorm be able to get past the top 2, who are of course going to defend for their absolute lives to keep the 1-2, as EVR of course is a very good team. So it's going to be quite interesting to see if TTRE can do something about this. Swedish Latifi getting very close to Pavel. Down the inside he goes. Is he going to be able to make the move done? No, Pavel has the slipstream of the cars ahead. Massey tried helping him, but Pavel tried diving into that slipstream as well. As Aaron is almost losing the DRS train. Would not be lovely for the XRA driver. As HBE actually lost a position to Massey. What has happened there? Did he make a mistake, or was it just raw pace? As the Alpine is gonna send it down the inside. That is quite an interesting move. And ABE can profit off of that interesting move. It is quite some dirty driving here by the 2 of them. Pavel, wow. Pavel is doing some interesting racing here. He is gonna have to burn all of his ERS to possibly get back with the DRS train. And we all know on Qatar the DRS is so important. Is he gonna be able to keep it? As Rambo spins it. And with the 6-second penalty, that's not going to help. Absolutely not. Did Pavel keep the DRS? I don't think he did. He certainly did. And this is gonna open the gap for Swedish Latifi and possibly even Aaron as well. Here he comes. Pavel goes defensive, but he has to cede the position to Aaron. But now, this train of 4 is gonna have a lot of work to do if they want to get back to the DRS train. Seems like the DRS train is piling up though, so it will definitely make this case a little bit easier as Massey goes down the inside of Unknown, and he might actually be able to get Bob as well, who actually left the session. Bob has disconnected. Let me try and invite him. TTRE Bob, TTRE Bob, TTRE Bob, there we go. Of course, some free positions for all the drivers. Absolutely lovely. But not for Bob. Bob got absolutely screwed over. Philip gets a penalty, and that is the first of all the front runners, or, well, front runner, top 5 positions to get a penalty. Which, of course, isn't ideal. Let's try to invite Bob one more time. Bob is not online anymore. Is there a chance he has rage quit? There is certainly a chance he has rage quit. Wildstorm gets a penalty. Not ideal if you're gonna try and challenge for the win. Massey, who has been showing decent race pace, is getting close to the back of Philip. Is he going to be able to make a move? Wow, he goes a little bit wide there. Will not be able to. Let's have a look at all the penalties. So yeah, 3 seconds and only 6 seconds for Rambo. Let's have a look at the position changes. There isn't that much change. Aaron gained the most position with 4. And Bob lost, of course, the most because of a disconnect, which is very unfortunate. He says his Wi-Fi lost power. Of course, very unfortunate as David gets double overtaken. And HB is going to go for the move on Unknown. He gets the move done. Up into P7 he goes. And it seems like he is taking good care of his tires. As Aaron is trying to make a move on Swedish Latifi. Is he going to be able to? Aaron down the inside. Oh, that is an interesting defensive move by Swedish Latifi. Who doesn't leave racing room whatsoever. Now, I know I have bias to my team, but that was genuinely just interesting defense. At the front, it's all been the same. The two McLarens switching positions the entire time, and that's about it. Rambo gets a 9-second penalty. It's not looking very good for Rambo. As Unknown is all over the back of HVE. Let's have a look. TTRE Bob. Still not popping online. He is asking for an invite, so let's have a look. TTRE Bob. Yeah, he is still not popping up online. I don't know what's going on. It's now Massey and David. We're in a little bit of a fight. He says check. He has gotten an invite. It's probably the old invite I sent, which works. Pavel gets a penalty, who has gotten past Aaron, but they have lost track of the DRS train, which is not going to help their case. Two people with penalties, that will certainly help this entire DRS train. Bob is going to have to gain a lot of time. Seems like he's back. He is not in ghost mode. Yeah, he is back. A mistake like that is not made by a real person. Unknown gets a penalty. A lot of people are getting penalties at this stage of the race. Swedish has already pitted for new hards, I think, which is an interesting strat, but we'll see if it works out. As Massey also pits, the Red Bulls are going for interesting undercuts. As now David can go for the move on Philip. Not much struggles with that whatsoever. Wildstorm is very close to the back of Hookit. Of course, this would be lovely for Wildstorm if he can get a move done. But it's already lovely that he is staying with the EVR drivers, as they are proven to be very quick. So any fights going on? Dumb Donut? No? I don't know. Not really many fights going on at the moment, so not much to commentate about. So Aaron has gotten past, back past Pavel. Aaron is going to have to make up a lot of time if he wants to get back in the DRS zone though. And the slipstream through these sequence of corners is so strong. He is going to be losing a lot of time to the cars ahead. And then the DRS straight after. I think the only way Aaron is going to be able to get back to them is by doing an undercut. Wookid goes very slow for the fact that he was in first. I mean, sorry, J.E. Wolf, who pits very early. As Unknown and Pavel pit as well. Whoa! Philip goes for an interesting dive on David. HBE almost able to profit from that. Not quite though. I think from now on this should be the ideal time for medium runners to pit, as Bob picks up a penalty. Of course, his race is already over because of the disconnect, so yeah, not much you can do there. As Massey gets past Unknown. Clearly the undercut worked a little bit, but Unknown is trying to get the move back. Didn't quite work out. Runs a little bit wide, so he's not going to be able to do it in the next corner either. Aaron has good pace, but he just can't catch up on the high-speed corners and straights, as Pavel has went off the track. And it seems like Pavel's race is almost as good as over as well. As David is now creating a little bit of a gap towards Philip. Is HBE going to be able to profit from that, is the question. As there's a yellow flag for Rambo, who has spun again. As HBE and Philip are now pitting. Taking very careful on the entrance, of course. You don't want to invalidate, overshoot it, causing you to get a penalty. Good pit stop from HBE. Good pit stop from Philip. Not any position changes. J.E. Wolf gets past. Of course, he was quite far ahead. The question is, will Wildstorm get into the DRS zone? It doesn't seem like it. As now the Red Bull gets ahead of HBE. Is HBE going to be able to be ahead of the other Red Bull? No, he is not. Pavel retires in the pit. Now HBE got a little bit of work to do because he is on those newer tires than the Red Bulls. And he sees Philip, who was pretty much his rival throughout this entire race, ahead of them with fresh tires. So he's going to be able to drive away. Rambo, I don't even know why I'm calling it out anymore. As we see Wookid pitting for fresh rubber, fresh hards. Aaron staying out on the mediums. He is doing a very long run on these medium tires. I don't know if he's hoping for a safety car or he's hoping for something else, but I don't know if this is the way to go. HBE still very close to Swedish Latifi. He wants to get past ASAP. Is he going to be burning all his ERS? He gets very close to the back of Swedish Latifi. He is going to go towards the insides. Latifi doesn't defend it either. As in the meantime, Massey tries going for a move on Philip. Doesn't quite work out though. HBE very close to the back of Massey. Is he going to be able to make a move? No, he is not. Swedish Latifi gets a penalty. HBE seems quite rapid on these hards. Is he going to be able to get close to Massey? As now, I hope the final medium runner enters the pits. He has a puncture, and you should have been able to see that coming. He has to pit now. That wasn't the smartest strategy I've ever seen. Aaron's race is pretty much over. The lone XRA driver, the only one to seal some points for the team, probably. Although Aaron doesn't seem to be behind by that far. HB around the outside. Philip hits the back of Massey. He keeps the position though by some good defensive work. Philip proving that he has some decent pace. A bit unfortunate with his penalty though. Is DPAP gonna come out ahead of Bob? Yes, he is. Bob seems like he disconnected again. I hope he didn't ask for more invites, because then I might be cooked. Oh. He did disconnect again. That is completely my fault. I'm so sorry to Bob. I have invited him now. That is completely on me. He is back, but it doesn't look quite good for the driver. As Dumb Donut gets overtaken by David. Dumb Donut, the only hard medium strategy runner in this race. Who gets us the fastest lap of the race? He has some decent pace. Is Philip going to be able to re-overtake Massey? Massey is not defending it. HBE will also go for the move. He gets past the Red Bull. And with a decent move, he yeah, gets it done. Although Massey is still close. Well, of course, he is on older tires, so it's going to be a lot more difficult for him to possibly get past. Actually, no, I made a mistake. David is also a hard runner, and he is quite far ahead. So maybe the strategy is going to be working out for the ABE driver, as ABE is not having a great day whatsoever. Neither is XR8, to be honest. Let's be real. Aaron did not make a great strategy though. Wildstorm very close to the back of Dumb Donut. He's gonna have to get past if he wants to stay with Hookid. And that is his only chance to possibly get P2. Although he does have that penalty, of course. He has to get past here. He just has to. Dumb Donut doesn't get out of the way to pit. And this isn't ideal for Wildstorm. Although they do gain a lot because of DRS. Wildstorm, is he going to be making the move? No, he is not. Dumb Donut knows it is not worth it to fight. As HBE gets past. Philip, does he though? No, Philip still on the inside. Defends quite well. Really the only battle going on track right now is this little DRS train, as HB makes a little bit of contact with Philip, breaks a little bit late. Let's have a look if Bob is still in. Yes, he is. That's good. Rambo set the fastest lap. What am I seeing? Rambo, the GOAT, as what happened here? David is back in the train. Hookid picks up the penalty, and now Wildstorm, if he can stay with him, could be contending for P2 to split apart the EVR drivers. He has to stay in the DRS though, he just has to. Now Dumb Donut finally pits, and now it's going to be HBE up against Philip. HBE and Philip both have DRS. But HB has the slipstream. Is he going to be able to dive down the inside? No, he is not. He does have a quick look to, you know, make Philip a little bit scared, but he doesn't quite get the move done. Stay with on those new medium tires is certainly going to be a contender for a possible P4 here. As Unknown now picks up a penalty, although he is running in P12, so yeah, that doesn't matter much. Dumb Donut now also picks up a penalty. Lots of penalties in this final stage, as Unknown actually retires in the pit street. I find that quite interesting. Bob picks up another penalty. Props to the five, excuse me. Wolf is driving a very solid race. Without penalties, because on Qatar, that is just a very difficult thing to do. So they deserve some credits, for sure. Oh! Massey goes very wide, and there goes David into P6. That is quite surprising, if you ask me. But now, HBE is who we're going to be focusing. As DRS is turned on, he gets past Philip. But here comes David. Is he going to be able to make a double overtake? No, not quite. All his ERS is gone. Ooh, HB has a big moment. Was that damage for David? I am not quite sure. Of course, those new mediums have so much more grip, as there is the Sauber that retired from the session standing still. David wants that P4. He knows he has to do it. He has to make a move quick, because the mediums are, of course, dropping off faster than the hards. Is he going to try it here? No, not quite. Decent defensive game by HBE. Is he going to try it here? Not quite either. Oh, he again hits the rear of HBE. David is so much faster that he doesn't quite know the braking points of the hard runners, who are of course just a lot slower than a guy on fresh mediums. HBE absolutely abusing the way the track limits work around here. Of course, there's a little bit of those extended parts on the full throttle parts. Corners, excuse me. So that will definitely help him, as now David will definitely be going for a move. Yes, he will. David gets past. Is Philip also going to be getting past HBE? He goes down the inside. HBE has a little bit of a defensive move. He is still on the outside, which is usually the ideal line you want here for more speed. But no, Philip gets it done. But now, can they stay with David? It doesn't quite seem like it. Massey is trying to get that P6 as well. Of course, also without penalties, but a lot older tires. Because now David is gone. David might be on a very good strategy with the overcut he did. Or the hards mediums, excuse me. Usually hards mediums is the better strategy. That's just my opinion. Wait, what happened here? Philip loses 2 positions at once. What's going on? Interesting occurrence here. 8 laps to go in the session. Is Bob still here? Yes, he is. Not to worry. We're gonna check the penalties real quick. Rambo has a stunning 18 seconds worth of penalties. It's quite interesting. So now David sets the fastest lap. He is rapid. Massey now gets past HBE. Is Philip also going to be able to do it? No, he is not. As HBE went a little bit defensive. And look at this camera POV. Absolutely lovely. There is a yellow flag. That is Rambo. So, yeah, we're not even going to be looking up from it. Not a great day for ABE. Although David is salvaging a lot of the points here. Again, the trick for Qatar is just not to get any penalties. And P4 to P6 is doing a lovely job at that. Also Aaron in P9. And, of course, J.E. Wolf in P1. Who is not walking away from Hookit and Wildstorm. Not that surprising though, as they of course have DRS. They'll be able to work together the entire time. As long as they have decent pace in the corners, they will be catching up. But will it be in time? And will J.E. Wolf get a penalty, forcing him to, yeah. Ooh, as Massey now gets a penalty, and that is not great for the fact that HBE, all he has to do is not get a penalty, and he will get P5, which is not a bad result for the XRA driver, considering he started in P8, I think. Is he going to try a move on the Red Bull? Not quite. He knows he doesn't have to. He knows he can take a chill. He knows that on his debut today, he is doing a very decent job for XR8. The question is though, is David gonna be able to catch up within 3 seconds of Wildstrom and Hookid? Because if he is, there might be a huge upset of David for ABE in P2. And all he has to do is gain 2 seconds on those fresh medium tires, who aren't as fresh anymore, but still fresh enough to gain him a lot of time. Of course, in the high-speed corners and the straights, he's going to be losing a lot. But Sector 1 and Sector 2, he must be able to do something, you would think. Oh, this DRS train is still getting heated. Of course, the people with 3 second worth of penalties are in a massive fight for P6 to P8 at the moment. They're going to be doing everything they can to get P6. But now HBE, is he close enough to go for a move on the Red Bull? Or possibly Philip behind him, is he close enough to go for a move on both of them? HBE down the inside of Massey. Philip is not going to be going for the move on HBE, but he is going to be going for a move on Massey. Doesn't quite make it stick though. And HBE driving a very clean race. Let's check if he's gotten a warning, shall we? HBE, Merc. That is Aaron. HBE has not gotten a single warning this entire race. Can you believe it? That is some crazy stuff from the XRA driver. Let's check if J.E. Wolf has gotten one. I don't think he has either. No, he has 1 warning. Or 2. Is it 2? It is not 2. He has 1 warning. And what about David? I'm also quite curious to see David. David. There's a lot of Haas, so that's kind of confusing. David has 1. David also has a mere 1. But HBE, 0 warnings on a race around Qatar. Now, I know that it's not that impressive, but still, in my eyes, I wouldn't be able to do that. Let's be real, I would not be able to do that whatsoever. He is driving an amazing race on his debut for XR8. Dumb Donut sets the fastest lap. Very decent, 23.3 for that extra point. He might be able to get close to Aaron. It's going to be the same thing over again. HBE will probably go for a move, although Philip is also getting very close to HBE. Does he have enough ERS? It doesn't quite seem like it. Will HBE go for a move on Massey? He will not. David's tires are definitely dropping off. Rambo gets another 3-second penalty. I think he might be getting disqualified soon. That is interesting, to say the least. But this is definitely interesting to see, because I think, yes, Wildstorm also has 3-second penalty, so he could be splitting the EVR drivers today, which is quite an impressive thing to do here in the AVC Academy. J.E. Wolf driving a dominant race though. Absolute amazing performance from the McLaren. This is going to come down to a last lap battle for sure between the Aston Martin and the McLaren. Two British teams. Let's have a look at the DRS train. Is HBE finally close enough to make a move on Massey? I think that answer is quite, that question is quite easily answered. Yes, he is. He gets past. And slowly but steadily, they are closing the gap to David, whose tires are dropping off rapidly. Is it going to be close enough for HBE to make a move near the end of the race, though? That's the question. It's going to be close, that's for sure. Don't think they're quite going to be able to, as Bob retires from the session. Don't think he really have to do that. I think points are top 15, not top 10. Although I'm not entirely sure about the AVC point system. David is still faster than the DRS train though, so I don't think that HBE will be getting any higher than top 5, which is still a very decent performance. Now Dumb Donut is very close to the back of Aaron. He's been gaining quite a lot on those new mediums. Wildstorm is losing it towards Wookid in the corners though. It's definitely a bit unfortunate. Wildstorm is going to have to burn a little bit of ERS on the straight. But look at that, the DRS is so strong on this game. Absolutely amazing to see. As now Rambo, he's been lapped by a lot of drivers. Matter of fact, Rambo is on a 24-second penalty. I think 32 is a DNF, disqualify, although he does seem to be ghosted, so it doesn't matter much. Maybe it will affect this little DRS trade. Of course, the two Red Bulls and the Alpine, who are still fighting hard for that P6, they are all on a 3-second penalty, so anything can happen still. Wildstorm is so close to losing DRS to Wookid. He has officially lost it. He knows that this is going to be a very difficult task if he wants to try and get back towards Wookid. As now J.E. Wolf is, I think, purposely slowing down to maybe give Wookid DRS, which would be a crazy strategy play here. Wildstorm is burning throughout so much, as now Swedish Latifi gets another penalty. So now it's going to be between Philip and Massey for who gets P6 or P7. Swedish Latifi is done for. Is Massey going to make a move on HBE? I don't think he is quite close enough. No, he isn't. HBE is very close to David in the meantime. Or is that... No, that is Rambo. Excuse my language. That is Rambo. Why did I say excuse my language? I just meant excuse me. Ooh, Philip had a little look. Of course, there's not many places where he can still try to get a move. As of course, the finish line is close on the straight. It's not like a Brazil where it's quite far on the straight, just before the final, the first corner. No, on Qatar it's almost straight after you enter the pit street, so it's gonna be a close one. And as long as Massey stays within the DRS of HBE, I don't think Philip is going to be able to do it. Massey also has a lot more ERS to play with. So I think, as now J.E. Wolf wins the race, Hookit gets second, Wildstorm third, and David, with I think the better strategy today, gets a good fourth place. HBE on his debut for XR8 gets fifth, Massey sixth, Philip seventh, Swedish Latifi eighth. And the rest of the grid is now gonna be following. Of course, Aaron had an unfortunate strategy, getting a puncture on his medium stint. He gets 9th place. Dumb Donut, who, holy shit, he went to softs to maybe try and set another fastest lap. I think he already had the fastest lap, so I don't even know why. But he is, so who knows? Dumb Donut to set the fastest lap. Is he going to be able to, or is he not? That's the question we're going to be answering right now. Donut over the line. He does set the fastest lap, and that is the race done. A 1-2 for, who was it? EVR, excuse me. A 1-2 for EVR, J.E. Wolf and Hookit set P1 and P2. Wildstorm P3, David. Actually, no, it wasn't the better strategy. He started P2. He lost a lot of positions in HBE P5. That is your top 5 for today. Thank you for watching the stream. Yeah, I'm gonna head out. My throat hurts. Yeah.
Bye bye.